Hi, y'all. I just want to process some news together, some facts and figures I've learned, and thoughts I've had about them. It just feels better to do it together sometimes. So, for context, I live in Prague. Prague is the capital of the Czech Republic. It's definitely like a capital city. It feels like that, but it's not huge by any means. Like it really has like a smaller city type feeling here. The province of Prague is about 500 kilometers squared, and it has about 1.3 million people. The Gaza Strip has about 325 kilometers squared, so 500 versus 325, and about double the population at 2.2 million people. And there are about 2.2 million people who are going through one of the biggest uh, scenes of destruction that we have witnessed in the modern era. And the last UNRWA, the UN Relief Works Agency, which is the UN branch dedicated to Palestinians, and one of the biggest UN branches that exist, they lost their funding, and the last UNRWA food truck into Gaza, like truck containing food for 2.2 million people, entered Gaza on January 23rd. That was over a month ago for 2.2 million people. The last food truck came in on April 23rd. Can you imagine that? I think of all the times I've gone to the grocery store since January 23rd, think of all the meals I've had with friends and with myself since January 23rd. I don't know. Isn't that crazy? Because like just like if you take out the political context of who's right, who's wrong, yada yada, who started it, you take that all out and you just have that fact, it's just like, what would you need to hear for that situation to feel justified? Like if you just had like a hypothetical question in a book that was like, would there ever be a situation in which only not providing food for 2.2 million people and 325 kilometers squared going through the biggest scenes of destruction we have seen in the modern era? Would there ever be a reason to not give them food for over a month? If so, why? I don't know. I don't know. So, why? Why hasn't there been food since January 23rd? Why the fuck is that the situation? Well, the state of Israel accused 12 UNRWA workers of being complicit to some degree with the October 7th attacks, that they aided and abetted and helped Hamas commit their atrocities on October 7th. 12 workers by the Israeli government have been accused. And they are under UN investigation now. Of those 12 workers, they are 12 of 13,000 UNRWA workers working in Gaza. And UNRWA as a whole has about 30,000 workers. So about half of them are in Gaza. A little less than half of them are in Gaza. The scenes of like Gaza, which is the scene of the greatest destruction we have seen in the modern era. Like, last I checked, the amount of bombs that have been dropped in Gaza equate in power to 2 nuclear bombs. That, in a place that's smaller than Prague, would double the population. That's nuts. That's crazy. And then, of those 12 UNRWA workers, I think one is dead and 2 are missing. Oh, someone's calling me. No, not yet. Sorry, baby, I'll get you later. But of those 12 workers who have been accused of assisting Hamas, 2 are missing and 1 is dead, or other way around. Anyway, but like, there are 9 known people under investigation by the UN. And do those 9 known people, even if they committed, even if they did, let's assume the worst. Let's assume that like they got the guns, they got the timetable, like they did all the masterminding, sure. Is that justification for starving millions of people? Is starving millions of people a military tactic that you condone? And not only has the US, the UK, France, I believe those are the 3 that are definitely holding out on UNRWA funding. Probably Germany too. Probably a lot more, but definitely my country, the US. And where I live, Czechia. They have pulled funding from UNRWA, but continue to fund Israel, who is actively under investigation for genocide in the biggest state-on-state crime court that exists in humanity. Like, they are at like the Super Bowl of that state done fucked up courts. And those allegations, that ongoing case, is not reason enough for the US to cut funding from Israel. Not only that, but we're giving them more money now. It's just like, oh, you're under investigation, we'll give you more money. UNRWA's under investigation. Fuck no, we're done. That's crazy. I'm sorry, but like, maybe you're not a political person. Maybe this just isn't your cup of tea. You just don't want to get involved. You just don't want to ruffle feathers. You just don't like there's a lot of reasons why people don't engage in this shit, because it's fucking depressing. It's so much. I feel like I'm losing my mind sometimes. Like, it really, holla at me in the comments if you care about Palestine and feel like you're losing your mind sometimes. But, or anything really. Being a leftist is fucking exhausting. Like, anyway, all of that aside, you cannot care about anything up until this day and then just come across this video and know nothing else and hear that the last food truck for over 2 million people entered the Gaza Strip, a place that's 325 kilometers squared with over 2 million people. The last time they got food was January 23rd. Is that okay? I don't think so. I think you should tell someone in power, wherever you are, wherever you live, that that is not okay. In fact, I kind of expect that from you. Like, I kind of expect that from people. I would hope so anyway. I would hope that the people that I know and love and hold dear in my heart and like are a part of my life would have something to say about that happening and happening on their dime. Like, I really, yeah, I don't know. I expect myself to say something anyway. So, good night.